In this video, we're going to talk about history. What is it? How does it relate to the other humanities? Well, first of all, what is history? I know a lot of students will tell me that they think of history as the onerous task of memorizing names and dates and places. And the fact is, you do need to learn a lot of those things in order to do history well, but that's not really what history is. Well, what is it? Well, others will say that it's the study of the past, and yes, that's correct so far as it goes, but there's obviously a lot more to it than that. The study of history is fundamentally the study of human civilization. It's our attempt to look at the past as a way of understanding ourselves, who we are, how we got here. What makes up us. It's the study really of cities because there's very little human remains that we can study in terms of historical methods prior to the development of cities around 3,000 to 4,000 BCE. So it's the study really of urban life and of cultures largely that developed at least initially in an urban context. The study of cities. But fundamentally it's the study of people. What makes us tick? What makes us choose the paths that we choose? What makes us start wars? What makes us sacrifice ourselves? What makes us choose peace? So we're going to talk about what history is and also about how it helps us, how we can better understand history and then use that to understand the world around us. Well, how does history relate to the humanities? In this program, you are studying history as one of 5 disciplines in the humanities, and we think in this program that they all work well together, that they all relate to each other, they all enhance each other, they fit. There are a number of ways that history relates to the other humanities, and in some respects, history representing the efforts of humans in the past is the most extensive record we have of how humans have acted, how elements of their culture have impacted them. So one of the things that history studies is how has art been, for example, what is the impact that art has had on society? What's the impact of music on society? And what's the impact of changes in society, historical events, choices, revolutions, on the development of culture, the development of music and art, and literature. Literature has had a big effect on history and represents, of course, there's a lot of historical literature, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in another video, but how history has impacted our understanding of literature and the way that we interact with literature, drama, theater. So those are impacts. And then philosophy. Philosophy, of course, is fundamentally the study of human society, of human thinking as well, and how we analyze ourselves and how we come to decisions about ourselves. History has a lot to say about that. Obviously, part of history is studying the philosophers over the centuries and the impact that their ideas have had on the society around them. So we would study ideas, but we study more the impact of those ideas on the world around them. So in many ways, the way that history distinguishes itself from the other disciplines is how it impacts, how the workings of those disciplines impact the world around us. And of course, the work of history, the doing of history, also has an impact on society. So in a sense, we study ourselves when we study the impact of history and historians on human society.